What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? Purple Haze says, go Pacers. Yeah, man, I was kind of low-key paying attention to the scores while we was live streaming yesterday. What's up, friends? Smoke Jerk Wings was a star yesterday. I see you, Will Nola, Trini Life. Toy says, what up? Good morning to my girl, K Cooper. What up, K Cooper? Trini Life says, Anton, bless up. Major Gaines says, what up? Malik says, Islam Moors. I have no idea what that means. Noble Xavier says, Road Warriors in the building. Knicks couldn't get that five they needed. More knowledge. I told somebody that the Knicks was going to win. I'm sorry, the Pacers was going to win in five. My dog, your car, red, white, and blue Island Boy, Winchy, Crown. Tiffany J says, good morning. King Manasseh says, good morning. My dog, J Ben, Loso's Way, Treese, Eric OG, Joe Gunn. What up to everybody that's in the chat? I appreciate y'all. One word. How do you feel, AD? Regular. I think that's the best word. Regular. Just normal. A normal. I feel regular. What up, Onaka? What up to everybody? Sabrina. Low-key love y'all. You guys help keep the day smooth along with the prayer when I wake up. Shout out to everybody. Trini Life says you look happy. It's because I got my beard done. If I just want to be absolutely honest with y'all. All right. You have no idea. For the ladies that don't understand, let me tell you something about men. This is one thing about men that you should know. Very simple concept, but it's very, very true. Men, all right, have superpowers and the hair that is above their neck. Men have superpowers with the hair that is above their neck, whether it's on their head or on their face. When we get a fresh cut, when we got a clean shave, when we got our beards done, when everything is good, that's our superpowers. That is our superpowers. Listen, when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you perform better. When you look good, you feel good. When you got that clean shave, like usually y'all see me with the gray. Lately, you see me with the gray, and then you see me like this. Usually, if you see me like this on a live stream, it's because I ain't got my head shaved. Just being transparent. It's because I ain't got my head shaved. So, yeah, man. Yeah. You can get all of that energy back. You're feeling back good. Life is good. You got your confidence up. You know what I'm saying? You start removing your glasses a little bit more. Yeah, that's how it is. It's all in the beard. Sedition said, I hate being bald. Why? Why do you hate being bald? Listen, bro, you gotta embrace whatever you are. You know what I'm saying? If you light skinned and embrace being light skinned. If you dark skinned, embrace being dark skinned. If you bald, just make it look good. If you got a beard, leverage that. Like all of us have something about us that makes us unique. Very few of us have everything. Very few of us have every single tool in the tool shed. That's like the 1% of the 1%. That means that you 6'7" and you got baby hair in real life, and you got blue eyes, and your skin is smooth, and you don't have no pimples, and you have a high IQ. You know what I'm saying? And you make a lot of money, and you're a good person, and you know how to communicate effectively, and you speak two languages. That's the 1% of the 1%. I think that the problem in life a lot of times is that we get so caught up in comparing ourselves instead of embracing what's awesome. Because I'll tell you this, you'll compare yourself against somebody, and you'll be thinking to yourself, oh man, I should be like this. Or if I only had that, they'll be looking at you and be thinking to themselves, man, if I only had this, if I only had that. We get so caught up in focusing on the stupid stuff. Listen, control the controllables. I stole that from my dog Eric Thomas. Bam Bam Lich, 5'11" is a good height. That's a good height, big dog. You said I got it all, but I'm 5'11". What's wrong? The only reason that you feel like you're inadequate, you're above average in your height. The only because the average guy is 5'9". The only reason that you feel inadequate in your height is probably because you online and you hear people talking about whether or not, oh man, I want a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Bro, you just got to roll in confidence. It's all honestly, it's all about your confidence. It's all about confidence. It's all about confidence. Real talk. Tony Wilson says, AD, what's up with this Dusty Tariq Nasheed keep hating on you? He don't hate me. He love me. What you talking about? Let me tell you something, bro. I was on a live stream last night, and somebody, we was on after hours, and somebody said, man, Tariq Nasheed is talking about you. And I was thinking to myself, so what would you like for me to what would you like for me to do with that information? He loved me. I'm arming him. Listen, I'm helping him. I'm arming him with information so that he can keep his narrative going. A lot of times content creators look for content. They look for things to talk about. It's only so many different ways you can slice how much you hate white people. It's only so many different ways that you can slice black people born in America against black people overseas. And so people a lot of times look for confidence. I mean, look for content. I'm throwing them the alley oop. Now I benefit from it too. I'm not gonna lie. I do benefit from it too. Um, because he's continuing to promote me to people that otherwise probably would have never even known me. It's some people I'm sure that's a part of his audience that probably is like, let me go check out this guy. I don't like him. I don't listen. It's content. Him and I will probably never, ever, ever, ever in life run into each other. And if we did, we would probably say, what's going on, fam? How you doing? Ain't nobody really beefing in real life. So I'm giving him the alley oop. He's exposing me probably to more of his platform. And that's the way that it is. I don't have no problem. I don't know what he said, but does it really matter? As long as he continues to bring visibility, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep on talking. Like I'm gonna keep on throwing him the alley oop. Hopefully he catch it and dunk it. Let me see what else y'all talking about before we get into this conversation. Everybody need to be making money. If everybody not getting, if you just on here talking and you're not getting money as a result of it, you love Anton on a Saturday. It's content like you said. 100% Charleston White whack 100 effect. They don't dislike each other. If they disliked each other, they wouldn't be in a room with each other. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, y'all about ready to get started with the show? You don't think you've ever seen Anton on a Saturday before? This is my second Saturday in a row. Anton on a Saturday is wild. OG Bobby Johnson says Tariq do smack niggas in real life. Well, I would love to see that happen to me. You know, actually, I wouldn't love to see that happen to me because that would be bad. That would be bad for everybody. And I don't think that anybody would like any violence. I'm not gonna feed into that. Nobody is doing anything to anybody in real life. Nobody would ever. Now I scrap with my family, like I'll scrap with my brothers and my nephews and stuff like that. But nobody would ever, nobody, not a man on the face of this earth would ever put their hands on me in real life. And that's just that. I would never put my hands on somebody else. I don't believe in that. I advocate against that. I 100% advocate against people. I think everybody should keep their hands to themselves. People can say whatever they want. I would never, ever put my hands on somebody else unless I was trying to save somebody's life. And I would advise that nobody ever put their hands on me. Decatur ATLian says, I'll slap somebody for 20,000. You willing to lose your life over $20,000? Malik Two Turn says nobody is scared of you, bro. I would hope not. I'm a very nice person. Why would you be scared of a person that's very nice? I don't invite that type of energy in real life. Y'all, I think y'all want me to be mad. Like, and it's funny because I got a story today. I got a couple stories today that actually speaks to some of the emotional stuff that people are saying all the time. Why would somebody want to be scared of me? I want to make money, I want to have fun, I want to party. I don't want to put off that type of energy. What type of junk is y'all on? I'm very, very nice. I believe in conflict resolution. I don't believe in facts. Black people love anger and going back and forth with each other. I want to get pussy. It's Saturday, so we gonna talk. I listen. I like getting pussy. I like getting head. I like making money. I like loving God. I like good music. I love partying. I love working really hard. I like content creation. I like streaming. I don't even be on that dusty type mentality. Dudes that always fight and stuff like that, that's dusty. When you over 40 and you still fighting, like you still scrapping with people in the streets, that's problematic. You should probably get a better friend circle that'll hold you accountable. Real talk. So, anyway, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. I'm sure he's over there creating great content, and I'm gonna continue to do what I do, and hopefully he benefits off of it. Hopefully he benefits. Let me tell you about him. Uh, I believe that he's the type of guy that you can put a battery in his back very easily, um, and then you can get him started. That's usually what these light skinned dudes with pretty hair do. They batteried type of guys, you know. So it's very easy for him to be emotional. He'll say something like, "Yeah, I heard somebody had asked him a question before, and he says, yeah, I seen a clip of his before. I mean, I heard he was clout chasing before. Nigga, you know who I am. You know who I am. That's why that if you don't know, you know. Everybody has told you you need to come and kick it, come and check me out. You need to come and debate. Don't you hate it when these light skinned niggas be acting like they don't know who you are? You know, I've seen a clip of him before. I think he's one of those type. Nigga, you know who I am. Nigga, you watch my show. Stop. Stop. Stop it. Just say it. Yeah, I like his content. This nigga's a good content creator. He stream his ass off. He work hard. He's a reflection of what the community should be. I don't necessarily care for the way that he talks about uh, people that were born, whose ancestors was born here in the United States of America. I'm looking for an angle so that I can create more content. And so I'm gonna call him a tether because that's tether talk. That's tether talk. And listen, I'm not saying that he's a good content creator. I think that he's done some really significant things. As far as, and I know who he is. I don't necessarily listen to his content, but I've heard people mention him before, and I've heard him speak about certain subjects. I know that he was trying to debate with Myron on Fresh and Fit and stuff like that, and so I know who he is. I know who he is. I think he's a good content creator, but I hate it when niggas try to act like they don't know who you are. I don't, you know what? I think I've seen some stuff come across my nigga, you know who I am. Shut up. Capping. Capping. He know who I am. Absolutely, he know who I am. All of them do. Every last one of them. All of your favorite content creators, they know who I am, and they know that I'm an unstoppable force. And if they was really smart, they would get on the bandwagon and start rocking because I see that they platforms have hit a ceiling. The growth hit a ceiling. So shout out to him. Facts, easy. I agree with you. That nigga he got some of my videos saved in his favorites. I'm his favorite content creator. That's a fact. They study me. They try to figure out what the next move is gonna be. If you want to be my friend, just say you want to be my friend, big dog. All right. You want to link up and become a super group? Well, if we gonna be a super group, then you're gonna be Hawkeye. I'll be Captain America. All right. Or I'll be you Hawkeye. You get you a series on Disney Plus. I'm gonna go ahead and be in the theaters. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, niggas be having a Patreon member account trying to understand how to continue to run up a bag. Anyways, y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to? Or he could be the new Captain America, the Anthony Mackie version. What's up, Classy? Y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? I don't usually talk like this during the week, but it's Saturday, so we can just go ahead and slow burn this. And get to it. What up, Molly? What up to all of my friends? All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let me make sure that I acknowledge the cash apps. Shout out to my dog, Mike, that dude. I appreciate you, big dog. Trini Life is in the building. What up, though? Spencer Campbell. I love you, Spencer Campbell. Brian Smith. Shout out to Brian Smith. Shout out to everybody that's out here in the chat. Good show last night on After Hours. Amadou says, since you touched money, have you ever thought about getting a hair transplant? Mm-hmm. Because, and let me tell you why. It's not that I wouldn't get a hair transplant because I don't want to wear no wig if I was to decide to get hair. I wouldn't get a wig. If I was to get a hair transplant, my biggest thing is I don't want to be like looking dusty in the middle in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get a hair transplant, that means that you're gonna be looking stupid and you're gonna be having all of these red marks and stuff. So what that mean? I gotta wear a hat. And if you start wearing a hat, does that mess up your hair transplant? You know what I'm saying? Alexander F says, "Hey AD, how are you liking the PR Puerto Rico and the food. Man, Puerto Rico has treated me well. Lots of pretty girls, so many pretty women. And you know me. Give me some nice weather, some pretty women, and some financial opportunities. You are a winner. Falafel says, love the Saturday morning stream. Shout out to you, Falafel. My favorite nurse is in the building, says, hey, friend, are you planning the bag chasing meetup in Detroit sometime this summer? I won't be able to make DC. Hope you and Rita are having a good vacation. Probably in like September or August or September for Detroit. I got another date coming right after DC. So we got DC in June, and then we got somewhere else in July. I'm not telling y'all what that is yet. And then we're going to probably go to a Midwest city after that. Curtis Taylor says, shout out to all Anton's hoes that want to be seen. Don Drigo says, hey, Anton, are you still doing coaching calls? I feel broken in regard to the dating landscape. I give clean vibes. Send me an email at Anton Daniels 413 at gmail.com. And shout out to my dog, Class E Beats. I love you, Class E. Thank you, bro. Thank you for holding us down. And thank you to everybody that support the platform. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get it popping? Y'all ready to get it popping? You got to take minoxidil and all that other stuff that mess up your hormones to get a hair transplant? Nah, I'd rather stay bald. I look good. I'm gorgeous. Long as I got a beard, I'm good. I'm straight. All right, y'all. Let's get it popping. Elevate to the unknown says, my dog, Elevate to the Unknown says, I follow Anton on and off depending on life. But one thing is clear, the man is a growth machine. His work ethic and mindset is next level. I've even grown my content to over 50,000 subs just by watching his moves. See that? See that? We running up a bag. Shout out to my dog, Elevate to the Unknown. I love your content too, bro. Thomas Taylor says, okay, I saw his thumbnail regarding you, but I have never seen him before. I didn't want to mess up my algorithm. Let me go and see this. I haven't seen this. No, I don't see anything. I see people talking about us. I don't see anything, no. Anyways, God bless him. God bless him. All right, y'all. Let's continue to rock out with the morning show. All right, let's get into it. So I'm gonna shelf the first subject that I have. Well, no, let's go into it. Let's go into it. It's Saturday. We're gonna slow burn. So the first question that I have to ask, because it kind of fits into the theme of the show, and we're gonna go into Tory Lanez, Meg the Stallion. We're gonna get into Trump. We're gonna get into all of this stuff, right? We're gonna get into some local news. But the first question that I have to ask you guys are you racist? Will Nola says I'm not racist. I sure says Tariq said you a tether. Well, if I said that Tariq sucked dick, that would be the same thing, right? Because both of them would be untrue. I hope. Like we can both assume, right? What if I said that he sucks cock? Should that be something that we be concerned about? Or should people automatically assume that it's not true? Both of us just said something that's not untrue then, right? So neither one of us should be offended. I should never be offended that he said something that's not untrue. And he shouldn't be offended because if he has never opened up his mouth in order to take a fat one, and if it don't apply, then let it fly, then we both should just let it go, right? Okay, so now we 1 for 1. We both said something that's not that's untrue. All right. Now, let's continue on with the show. Are you a racist? It's a general question, and I'm curious. Heavenly Saint says, I'm not a racist. Everybody is saying no. Here's the question, though. Oh, we finally got one. Okay, so Alexander F says, yes, I am. I am racist, the black hood culture. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You can't pick and choose. You have to say whether you're racist or not. Red, white, and blue says we all racist. I like that, Tia Marie. Says, I'll be honest and say, sometimes I think I am. Ricky says, I didn't know I was until I left my mom's house. Oh, here's the question that we have to ask ourselves. If you were, would you admit it? Because I think that it's a lot of people that's trying to save face. If black people just came out, let me revise that, not all black people. If the majority of the people that support the toxic parts of black culture just came out and said that I'm racist, I think that everything would be fine. Nothing would change. Now, Molly, it's a difference between having bias and having preference, right? I'm biased towards you. But the reason that I'm biased towards you is not for anything that you can't control, right? I'm biased towards Molly because Molly has preference for me. She's biased for me. We can always have preference. You can have a preference for a certain look of a woman. You can have a preference for a certain weight of a woman. You can have preference for people that value you and that is in your friendship circle because they treat you better or because they value you also or because you like something that they do. It's nothing wrong with having a bias. The problem is that when our prejudice, our bias, your racist tendencies start to impact the decisions that you make on a daily basis or it starts to affect other people's lives. You see what I'm saying? And the problem, I think, in culture today is not that people don't understand that racism exists. The real problem is that they won't admit it because if you admit it, then we can start making some adjustments depending on what it is that you really want and what you want to do. Black people lie to themselves so much. And this is why you'll never, and you'll always be behind everybody else. You'll never really get ahead as a collective is because they pretend and they lie to themselves. When we was talking about Black Lives Matters back when they was manufacturing this whole George Floyd protest and they was empowering y'all to be distracted from the things that was really happening. And yes, it was absolutely a distraction. Anton, how do you know that it was a distraction? Because it was telling y'all that y'all had to be 6 feet and you couldn't open up your business, but they was letting y'all go out there and protest and tear down statues and destroy your own neighborhood shoulder to shoulder. It wasn't 6 feet, no check when y'all was out there protesting for no reason. You got nothing out of it. The only thing you did was make a bunch of black lesbians rich, and then they went and bought a bunch of properties in California. They still running around. They got supported through the culture. A bunch of people made money off of t-shirts, and you got nothing. You painted some streets, you wasted your time. Some of y'all got COVID and died. And then the rest of y'all just sat there shoulder to shoulder in order to try to tear up your neighborhoods and make it a food desert. You got nothing. You got nothing. You did all of that. They would not let you open up your businesses to make money. They finessed you into thinking that you can take out a PPP loan, and now you got to go to jail for it. And they allowed for you to stand shoulder to shoulder so that y'all can go and transfer COVID to each other. And they made sure that y'all got the jab. And they made sure that y'all got the jab. You got nothing. You absolutely got nothing. So I guess my follow-up question is, how does it benefit you to have hate in your heart? Because see, if you're biased, that doesn't mean that you hate somebody else. During the Black Lives Matters protests, what these covert racist people would often say is saying Black Lives Matters does not mean that all lives don't matter. It means that we gonna focus on Black people right now. That's what they said. They use that as justification to be out here doing stuff to people that they felt like they needed to get that energy out on. The one thing that I've learned about hate throughout my life is that you never feel better after you do something to somebody else or you get that energy off. After you get done being mad, after you get done hating somebody, let's say, for example, there's somebody that I don't like that's a live streamer, right? And I live stream against them because I don't like them. Not because I don't agree with their talking point or I actually want to extract value from having a difference of agreement. Let's say that I just purely live stream against them because I hate them. I don't feel any better once the live stream goes off. All I did was raise up my blood pressure. All I did was make myself a lot more angry, mad, all of that stuff. You never feel better once you hate. You never feel better. Ever. And it's a disease. It's similar to gambling. The wins don't feel as good as they're not as impactful as the losses feel bad. The wins don't feel as good as the losses feel bad. It's hurtful. It doesn't benefit you. It's so stupid. No, I've never seen anybody say, man, I feel so much better now that I done did some evil stuff. It's just like gambling. The wins don't feel as good as the losses feel bad. The losses feel exponentially worse. The wins feel like you never really made enough. And so it's really a lose-lose situation. And that's why I had to make sure that all of the things that I was conditioned to believe when I was being raised, I had to, I had to basically divest myself from that nonsense because I realized that it wasn't benefiting me. It was really just keeping me, it was keeping me in a different space. It was keeping me from really going to get my blessings. You would not believe the amount of people that I've met in my life had I been racist that I would have never been able to really excel or elevate or go to the next level or do some better things because I was preventing myself from being able to find my own blessings. Contrary to popular belief, there are some other people out here that are of other cultures and other races that don't hate you just because you black or just because you white or just because you Asian or just because you Mexican. Now, if you come over into these borders and you came over here illegal, then I don't hate you because you Mexican. I'm just against you because you're messing up what we've established as cultural norms and what we got as rule of law inside of the land. So you can come over here and I absolutely rock with you, but I don't agree with you doing things that then force me and my tax dollars to be able to take care of your family. That's the problem. And so that's where we have to separate ourselves. I have preference and I'm biased towards American culture. And that doesn't mean that I don't like your culture or that I don't want to come and visit, but it just means that I'm 100% for my city first. I love you. But that's the thing that racists can't say. And that's the difference between being racist and being biased. They can't say that they love you. They can't say that they rock with you. They can't say that, hey, I'm looking to add value into you. They can't say to you, I want to do business with you. Of course, I'm America first. And when America gets full, I believe that we should be able to help other people, but we can't help nobody while we got $37 trillion in debt. We can't help nobody while our borders is being overran and we got Fenty coming in through the borders. Let me fix home. And that's another difference between people that are biased and racist, right? Is that people that are racist, they never fix home. They only want handouts from other people so that they think that they fixing home when they realistically have never fixed that hate in their heart. They don't clean up their own neighborhoods. They don't fix their own communities. They always blaming somebody else for their problems and always running in the victim Olympics, incredibly hypocritical, refuse to marry their own women, 100% is advocates for making sure that they create multiple different baby mamas within their own culture and community, embrace the worst of it, and then blame everybody else for the issues that's within the community. And just say, hey, deal with it. I've even seen people, racist black people, say we should have just as much time to hate white people as they've hated us. That's how evil some of these people are. That's how evil some of these people are. I don't plan on I don't plan on doing a weekend show every week. This is just a makeup show because I didn't get an opportunity to be able to add value into your life on Wednesday. I don't think a lot of y'all are racist. I think that y'all were taught to look at other people as the enemy, and you basically got a generational curse that's passed down to you. Y'all got to realize that ain't even you. Most of the things, and then I'm gonna get into the next part. I'm gonna really get into the show now. Most of the things that you guys are experiencing, a lot of y'all that won't openly admit that you were basically finessed. You know why I feel so bad for y'all? Because A, you don't really have no power to change nobody's life. That's number one. So you only hurt yourself. But the other thing that I feel bad for is that you're so much of a negative follower, meaning that you're not even following the right thing. That everything that you know and everything that you spew, you just spew the talking point of somebody else. You don't even have the resources. You don't even have the gall. You don't even have the gumption to go and do the research for yourself. You dependent on somebody else to give you your lived experience, and you never even stepped outside of your own neighborhood. Some of y'all have never truly had a real conversation with somebody that don't look like you, to where you don't come in with a preconceived disposition or perspective about what that person felt about you before you ever even open up your mouth. And you rob yourself. You rob yourself because you let somebody else put something in you that wasn't there. You reject God giving you grace. You reject God giving you what you're supposed to have. And you allow a mere mortal, a man, not to give you information for so that you can go and research it yourself. You rely on a mere mortal, a man, to give you what you think. And that's why y'all running around with these terms and these talking points that you don't even understand. Ain't that crazy? You've been conditioned to be a hateful person. That's why I feel sorry for you, because you don't even think for yourself. What would I look like going back and forth with people that don't even think their own thoughts? That can't even come up with a reasonable thought of their own, that depend on other people for talking points so that you can continue to think that you hate somebody that you've never even really met or interacted with before. I'm gonna tell y'all like Molly tell y'all, Darshan, that is gay. That's gay adjacent. It's 100% gay. You let somebody put something in you that's foreign, that you never experienced for yourself, nor was you built to take. It's not even supposed to go up that way. It's gay adjacent. It's very much gay. You let somebody put something in you that's foreign, that wasn't supposed to be there, and you embracing it now. But I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you. All right, y'all. I just wanted to give the people out there in the street something to react to. All right. Let me go ahead and read some of the super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the real show. And shout out to the chat. The chat is my co-host for this. Thomas Taylor says, okay, I seen that one. Shout out to you, Thomas Taylor. I appreciate you. Shout out to my dog, Classy B says, get the likes up. Eric Williams says it was good, Anton, bro. I didn't know you did the morning show on Saturday mornings. I don't. I did one last weekend and I did one this weekend because we never miss, and so I have to make up for the show. Next Gen says I'm not racist, but I'm prejudiced. No race is best. It's not good to be prejudiced either, though. You might want to work on that. Fukari Ferry says, I asked my parents why didn't they participate with the Panthers? Then Black Lives Matters happened, and I understood why they stayed out of it and didn't discuss it. Trini Life says everyone thought it was cool that Trump had pics and vids of South Africa, and it turned out that it was the Congo. See, let me tell you what Trini Life is doing. Trini Life is repeating a talking point from CNN. Trini Life right now is not even talking or repeating a talking point based off of his own research or his own understanding. He is literally spewing the title of what CNN said. What we do on here is we take information from all subjects. We take information from Fox. We take information from individual journalists. We take information from local news stations. We take information from MSNBC, CNN, and then we go and we research it for ourselves. Trini Life, he didn't know that I knew that that's the literal example. Here, I'll show you. See, he admitted it. I don't even have to show you. He said, yes, sir, Anderson Cooper. Trini Life, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should literally be ashamed of yourself, bro. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson. Go and figure it out for yourself. Look at what they say. Say, you know what? I need to go and figure it out and qualify it for myself and do your own research. Don't just depend on Anderson Cooper to give you your talking points, bro. Seriously? And you know you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better. Do better, Trini Life. Do better. I'm prejudiced to all races, many blacks. I'm black. Service USA said to get these likes up. And you didn't even watch the video. You just looked at the title of the video. Red, White, Blue Island Boy says, and see, this is why I'm always prepared so that I can address whatever it is that y'all say. Says, why blacks say white supremacists so much while crying out racism, I think it's fair for other racists to say the N-word, especially when blacks promote it so much. What you think, AD? I think that everybody should live their own life and do the thing that they know is best for them. That's what I think. Racism is gay, and my Molly voice says Black Man Inc. The average gamer is in the building. Shout out to you. Trucking Blueprint says, I constantly fight this battle with my brothers, and it also falls into entitlement culture we see today. Trucking Blueprint, here's the key. Don't fight it, just live it. You know what's changing a lot of my family members' minds? What changes a lot of my family members' minds is that they actually see me living a different life. They see me living a different life. All right. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's deep dive into it, y'all. So before we get into the other parts of the show, let's talk about ignorance and why I told y'all the other day. I only want to spend 10 minutes on this story. Why I told y'all the other day that it is important for black people. It is important for men. It is important for white people. It's important for Asian people. It's important for people of all creeds, races, and colors for you guys to control yourself. Can you imagine losing your life? One guy lost his life. Another guy is going to jail for the rest of his life because they was arguing over mayo at Checkers. An employee at Checkers killed a customer over an argument that started about mayo. Nobody was smart enough to actually say, you know what? This is a dumb argument. Maybe we should be a little bit more mindful about what we're arguing about.
New tonight, people at a popular tourist spot in Osceola County running for their lives last night after deputies say a Checkers employee shot and killed a customer all over a fast food order. Good evening. I'm Greg Warmoth.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. We first told you on Eyewitness News at 4 that deputies arrested this man, Elijah McKee, for first-degree murder. This all happening in Old Town next to Fun Spot Kissimmee. Channel 9's Scott Martin is live after talking to people who were there. And Scott, this fast food joint is still a crime scene. Hard to believe this is all over an order.
Martha, and that's exactly what people were telling me out here as well. But the crime scene tape still blocking off the drive-through area. In fact, I talked to one man who says that he had just grabbed dinner here at this Checkers before the shooting. And also workers here at some of the rides and amusement rides here tell me that people started running when they heard the gunshots.
Now, y'all know that Kissimmee, Florida is really Disney World, right? Because a lot of people say, hey, I want to go to Orlando, Florida so I can go to Disney World. Most people stay in Kissimmee. So what that means is that it is really a tourist area. It's like a tourist destination. It's a tourist spot. Kissimmee was built around Disney World, Universal Studios, Orlando, all of that. And that's where most people stay in order to try to go to these tourist destinations for their summer vacations or spring break, all of that stuff. So they out here wilding in a tourist destination in Kissimmee, Florida, where all of the kids is at so they can go and get their big Bufords.
A Checkers fast food location next to a tourist destination, now an active crime scene.
There were a whole bunch of cops here. Like, it was scary.
A crowded hotspot where Kelvin.
Look at the background. You can tell that it is more of a tourist destination.
Lindsay says he picked up dinner Wednesday night at Checkers, later driving by to find the entire area full of law enforcement.
From every entrance, there was more cops. And I was sitting here like, where are all these officers? You know, why are they here? What are they doing? And then when we finally got up to this area, then this was a concentrated area where a lot of officers was at.
Osceola County deputies say an argument between this man, 23-year-old Elijah Mackey, an employee at Checkers, and a customer got into an argument over a food order. That's when investigators say Mackey drew a gun and shot the customer.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that serious where you get into an argument and then you wind up taking somebody's life.
People working next to the Checkers tell me they heard gunshots and everyone started running. They shut everything down for the night.
Just thinking about it, I probably would have took off too. And I don't know where I would have took off to, but it's far. So yeah.
Mackey was taken into custody Thursday and faces a first-degree murder charge.
Look at this young man. Check this out.
Mackey was taken into custody.
That young man is supposed to be a computer programmer. He's supposed to be a software engineer. He's supposed to be learning AI machine learning. He's supposed to be doing his homework. He's supposed to be going to work and then going to school full time or going to school part time and then having another job on the side. That man is supposed to be a lame. And I say lame in a good way because a lame is a good thing. It is nothing wrong with being a lame. Let me be very, very clear. A lame, as the world likes to describe it, but in reality, a nerd, a lame, whatever it is that you want to call it, guess what? And I said it 1,000 times. They stay out of jail. They get married. They have good families. They can go to the barbecue. They grow old. Now, guess what he's going to be doing? It's Saturday, right? So we can be very candid. Is it Saturday? All right, so let's be very candid. Now you know what he's going to be doing? Sucking dick. Look at him. Look at him. Let me show you what he is.
Where I would have took off to, but it's far. So yeah.
Mackey was
absolutely. Now Fleece got him. He's definitively he's going to go and visit Fleece. He gonna be eating butt and sucking dick and liking it. He gonna have a boyfriend. He might be a busto. This is why it's important for us to have these conversations. He should have been a scholar. He should have been eventually growing and getting married and getting to the hoes and all of this stuff. Maybe he would have even been an incel for part of his life. But guess what? He certainly would have evolved. He would have grew out of it. he would have grown up to be something else. See, he looking tough for the camera now. He looking tough for the camera now. But he not gonna be tough when he in that jail cell talk and they going on the I Choose YouTube tour. When they beating on them bars, oh, we got fresh meat in here. And you know why you in there getting your back blown out? Over mayo. Get a nigga a couple extra little mayo packets, bro. Give him some extra mayo. It's not even your mayo. Look, you was getting paid the same amount no matter what. Give him some extra mayo packets. Throw in some napkins too. Everybody could have went home. Wouldn't even have been an argument. I'm not arguing with you over fast food. Y'all know what my slogan is. You got it. You know what? You got it. You got it. I said it yesterday in my live stream. I said, man, when I see situations, it's almost like you take a limitless pill and you start the process. You know what? Option A is to keep going back and forth because he wants some extra mayo or he don't want to give me no extra mayo. Option B, I can keep arguing with you because you ain't putting the fries in the bag and they not hot. Or option C, I could say, you know what? You got it, big dog. I'm still going to stand there in the line because I don't want to make a scene about it. I know that I can't get out of line because I got a car behind me and a car in front of me and I'm kind of blocked in. So you may have even spit in my food. I'm going to get the food, I'm going to throw it in a trash can, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to get the food, I'm going to throw it in the trash can, and I'm going to keep on going. You got it, big dog. Burger King is right up the street. McDonald's, I don't even want no rally. I don't even want Checkers. Checkers is really rallies. I don't even want none. I don't even want a Big Buford no more. You know what? Big Buford wasn't even good for me in the first place. It's probably best that I don't have a Big Buford today. And now guess what? Now he got to go out there and be somebody's boyfriend.
Taken into custody Thursday and faces a first-degree murder charge. People we talked to say there's growing gun violence that needs to stop.
Look at it.
People got to change. Like, learn how to control your emotions. Like, it's not that serious. A lot of things can get escalated to that point because of misunderstandings.
It's sad. Honestly, it's sad. And see, they didn't even know when they first did that one, right? When they first did that video, or they first did that report, they didn't know why they killed him. All they knew is, hey, two customers had got into an argument and, you know, it turned out to be a situation. Then we found out later that it was over mayo. That's how the argument started.
We have new details on a deadly dispute at a Kissimmee fast food restaurant. A Checkers worker is charged with murder after deputies say he shot a customer over an order. Today, West 2 is learning more about the moments leading up to that shooting. West 2's Luana Munoz is live outside of the Checkers on Earlo Bronson Memorial Highway. Luana, what have you found out?
Well, many of the families staying here didn't want to go on camera, but they say that this is generally considered a very safe area. They come here quite a bit, especially for the holiday weekend. As for the alleged shooter, Elijah Mackey, he appeared before a judge for the first time earlier today.
The defendant will be held pursuant to Arthur at no bond.
Look at that man. That is a nerd. He is supposed to be figuring it out. His clothes don't even fully fit him. His jumpsuit ain't even right. His collars is crooked in the back.
23-year-old Elijah Mackey appeared before a judge for the first time Friday, where he was given no bond. According to court documents on Wednesday around 10:10 p.m., Osceola County.
Look at his glasses.
Bond. According to court documents.
Look at the framing around the top. It's not even fully framed. That man is he probably still a virgin. He probably still a virgin. Haven't graduated from the sock phase.
On Wednesday around 10:10 p.m., Osceola County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call of a shooting at Checkers on West Earlo Bronson Highway. A customer was getting his food from the front window. The document says he was arguing with a female employee and asked to speak with a manager. The document says video from Checkers shows Mackey climbing out of a drive-through window and walking to the front of the business where the victim was. A witness says the customer made a derogatory comment to Mackey. That's when Mackey pulled out a small handgun from his waistband and shot the customer in the chest. It says.
So Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because I haven't seen this. I'm reviewing this for the first time, y'all. That wasn't even your argument. So you went out there and you shot somebody over a female that was going back and forth with the customer in the window. The dude said, I want to see a manager. You decided to climb out the window and check him because you had a pistol and you decided to take that man's life. So you simped your way into prison? You wanted to white knight this woman? You came in with your Superman outfit? Oh, God. Lord, take the wheel. Lord, take the wheel. Are you telling me that this woman that's going to be back at work on Monday when they clean up that man's blood off of the concrete, she going to be back at work saying, hey, can I take your order, please? And you white knighted her? You climbed out of, because a lot of y'all may not be familiar with what Checkers look like. The way that Checkers is set up is they got the drive-throughs, because usually you ain't walking in the inside. In the more tropical areas like Florida, they usually have a walk-up window, right? Like an old school walk-up window. So you can go to the walk-up window, you can order your stuff outside, or you can do it through the drive-through. You climbed out the front walk-up window and shot the dude because you was white knighting over a woman?
Mackey took off on foot but came back to grab his backpack before taking off again. Deputies found him hiding in a stairwell at this Celebration Suites. The victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. People staying at nearby hotels for the holiday weekend say they were in shock to hear the news.
See the walk-up window? See the walk-up window? That's where the people can walk up and place their order, and then they wait, and then they can go and get it out the other window. But they got the two. That's the window that he crawled out of. He did the Spider-Man out the window with his pistol in his band, and he couldn't wait to use it.
Feel insecure, it's like, it's going to happen over at my hotel. Who knows?
A spokesperson for Checkers said in a statement that read in part, the actions of this one employee do not reflect the values of the thousands of our hardworking employees across the country.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to the people and the mothers and the fathers that raise their kids right. To not be carrying pistols at Checkers. There's no reason for you to have a pistol at Checkers, bro. It's no reason for you to have a pistol at Checkers. Jesus Christ. And kissing me on Bronson Memorial Highway, you got a pistol at the Checkers? Why you got a pistol at the Checkers? That's why you got to be careful what you give people, because they itching to use it. They don't even use it as self-defense. They just itching to go and get it off. I'm like, you know what? What you say? You talk to that girl like that, apologize to her. Over some mayo. Over mayo. He wanted extra mayo.
We're working closely with the police in their investigation, and we are sending our thoughts and prayers to the guest's family.
Now, Mackey is being charged with premeditated murder with a firearm. We did reach out to Checkers to ask what their policy is as far as employees bringing handguns to work, but haven't immediately heard back. Covering Osceola County, live in Kissimmee.
What's premeditated murder in Florida? What's the sentence for that? According to this AI overview on Google, it says in Florida, premeditated murder classified as first-degree murder is a capital felony, meaning is that it is punishable by death or life in prison without the possibility of parole. The prosecution can seek the death penalty if they do not waive it. A separate sentencing proceeding called the penalty phase is conducted to determine the sentence. Oh. 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 Over mayo. Over mayo. Make sure you guys hit a like for that. I try to tell y'all. I try to say it. I say, hey, family, Y'all got to be a little bit more careful, be mindful. Don't find yourself in a space where you keep going back and forth with people and, hey, man, walk away. Walk away. It is nothing wrong with walking away. You don't have to find yourself in that space, bro. So dumb. And just got food aggression like a Rottweiler, says Vintage. Please, Johnson, do this toast. Baby oil, facts. Vintage says, we can do this the easy way or the hard way, facts. You slap the glasses off his face, he can't even see. That means that he's going to be taking. Let me be quiet. Mr. Lott says, there's a joke in here somewhere about not giving up the mail, then going to prison. I don't know what the joke is. I don't never want to be facing the death penalty over mail. All right. Let's jump into this next thing before we get into this Harvard conversation. We got to go Harvard, Trump on Apple, and then we're going to go to the Chicago mayor because he was asked to his face, was he racist? Tory Lanez's father recently spoke with Chris Cuomo, and he had some things that he wanted to get off his chest about this whole situation. Let's jump into it and see what he had to say.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
First of all, shout out to Tory's father. But second of all, that hairline is obviously hereditary. I don't know what's going on with the paint on the hairline to try to make it seem like they got a hairline. I don't know what black men got against letting it go. It's okay. Listen, it's even okay to get a little bit of help, but just getting the fresh paint and then getting the paint right here and lining up the paint on the sides and then there's no hair right here, that's insane. And I got a lot of respect for Tory's father for holding him down, but that looked wild. That then got the circle glasses like Jamal Bryant. Okay, all right, I got you. No, Jamie Foxx can't. Jamie Foxx be having hair on his head. Like he be, I don't know what he got. I don't know if he got a transplant, if he got a wig, follicles, whatever Jamie Foxx got. Jamie Foxx get enhancements. All right, he get the hair and then he get the spray and then he get lined up. That's just pure spray. I'm bald, shave my head, throw some spray on there, and then get the line, razor line. So that look a little weird. That look a little weird to me, but let's continue.
To be here.
Well, listen, this is the job, is to make sure that there is fairness under law in this situation. And with your son,
Yes.
There's now a question mark. And you're not a lawyer. It's not why I'm talking to you. My understanding is it's gotten bad enough for him on the inside after this stabbing that it is a miracle that he survived, that now he's being moved as we speak. Is that true, sir? And
somebody says 80 don't like any man with hair. He don't have hair. I don't mind you having hair. Get your hair on. I love the way my whole look with the beard and the lineup. I'm cool with what I got. God has blessed me tremendously. The problem is that it's not hair. It's no hair there. I can't be mad at a person that has hair that don't have hair. That's not hair. That's hair to you? Anyways, let's continue.
survived, that now he's being moved as we speak. Is that true, sir? And what does that mean to you?
Yes, that is correct. It's one of the things we've been concerned about, but he's being moved because it's a part of the prison's protocol. That when a situation like this happens, I think they believe it's better for him to be in another facility. And so he is being moved as we speak. One of the things, of course, we're concerned about is because my son is a high-profile person, and when things like this happen, there's always some kind of weird news going out trying to spin it to be something else. You know, maybe he went.
Somebody time out. Big Midnight D. He don't even know how to spell midnight. Somebody time that out. Why are you inquiring about somebody's wife, sir? I'm the only person that can inquire about somebody's wife. Because I'm going on an I Choose You 2 tour. Have a nice day.
crazy in the prison and they move them. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but the truth being that he is being moved right now as we speak, and we have concerns because, number one, he has just been discharged not many days ago from the hospital, and he was discharged with 14 stab wounds, an incident that collapsed his lungs that, again, thankfully, he is recovering, he's doing well, but now he has to take a 3-hour ride. And he is the victim in this situation. Those are the things that really concern me. He is the victim. He never provoked this incident in prison. And anybody that knows him, in fact, I've met many people going there to visit him, my wife and I, that will tell you that he is someone who is liked. He's not someone who's a troublemaker. I was with the COs, the correctional officers, in the hospital where he was taken after this incident, and the COs spoke to me. They said when they heard on the intercom that they had to transport somebody to the hospital, it was him. The guy looked at me and said, why him, of all people? Because he doesn't do anything like that, to warrant these kinds of things.
Well, listen, Mr. Peterson, we're going to stay on it. Not out of any deference to your son. I'm new to this story, but there's something about it that doesn't smell right. And we're going to stay on it until we figure out what this is really about and that justice is served here. And I hope he is safe, no matter which way it comes out. And we're a call away if we can help you with any concerns you have. Okay?
Absolutely.
The fact that Tory is even in prison in the first place, but at the same time in prison suffering at the same time because of a lie or because somebody wanted to see him go away, that's probably the worst feeling in the world. It's one thing to go to jail or to go to prison. And imagine how many guys that's in jail or in prison that was accused of something that they didn't do. Imagine the amount of guys that's in prison that is in jail for things that they did not do because they was accused by a woman that was bitter, angry. Women have this, y'all got this thing. Some of y'all bury it deep down inside and you never actually pull it out. Some of y'all just manage it effectively. Y'all got an evil streak in y'all. Y'all got this mean streak that's just like, oh, because only a woman can birth a child of a man that's not the biological father that she tells him that she tell the false father that that's his child. Do you know what type of person you have to be on the inside? Do you know how many of y'all grandmothers and great grandmothers lied and told their husband that that's his child? Do you know how many of y'all probably believe that your lineage traced through to whatever you think your father is, and that's not really your father? And so you have a false understanding of where you come from because you don't even know who your real father is. Do you know how evil you have to be to do something like that? And that is one thing to cheat, because that's what people do. You know what I'm saying? People bust it down for a real one. I always say she wasn't yours. It was just your turn. If you can get her, then she's yours. I'm not trying to hold on to anything that's not mine. If you can get her, she's yours. It's another thing to have a child by a man that is not the man that you telling that's his child. You know how evil of a species? Because this isn't even a one-off. Like, this is even something that's uncommon. This is something that's normal. Do you know how evil you have to be to put somebody in jail and falsely accuse them of something that they didn't do?
Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also too, as you said, 0.01% 1% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They're actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, it's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
So check this out. Tiana says, I know women have their faults. However, you do not take a day off going off on women. Damn. I don't take a day off on going off on everybody. Every day I go off on racist people. Every day I go off on men. The segment before this, I just was talking about how men make dumb decisions and have no ability to be able to control their emotions. The segment before that, I was holding people accountable for being racist. Do you feel like a victim when we start talking about Tory Lanez and the fact that the man got stabbed 14 times? Am I not supposed to mention the woman that put him there? Am I not supposed to mention the woman that put him there? I'm just asking. I'm genuinely asking. I never see men complain about the fact that I'm going. Well, yeah, I do. I see some feminine men sometimes. I'm not going to cap. But I never see men complaining about the fact that I'm holding men accountable. I just say, do better. And they say, you know what? It ain't all of us. They may push back a little bit, but they're not tripping about it. They're not tripping about it. At all. Not even a little bit. A woman got this man getting stabbed 14 times, and the only thing that you can think to say, because I haven't even held women accountable today. I'm holding Megan accountable. And if anything, this is the reason why I need to hold y'all more accountable, because your accountability is lacking.
Well, who did it? I mean, she says, and her friends say that he did it. And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have to support that? I get it. Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is, based on the evidence that we have, the evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this. But I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone.
Bakari says, have you fact-checked that he's innocent and Meg Thee Stallion is lying, or are you just using Republicans' talking point because they making this political, Anton? Do you realize that this is not something that's Republican or a Democrat issue? When did this become a political issue? She said that she's calling Gavin Newsom to work with him. Gavin Newsom is a Democrat. He's one of the most liberal governors in the United States of America. When did this become anything political? Listen, we seen Meg the Stallion lying. She admitted to lying when she went on Gayle King and said that she never even had a sexual relationship with him in the first place, which also tainted the credibility of the witness. How can you believe a woman that'll lie on national TV when they then silenced Tory Lanez and said that he can't say anything? And then she dropped her own documentary saying that she was lying. So I need y'all to get out of y'all emotions. Everything isn't a political issue. Everything isn't a racist issue. Everything isn't a gender issue. Different things apply depending on what the circumstance is. And this has nothing to do with Democrats versus. I never mentioned Democrats at all in this segment of the show. I never mentioned Democrats at all in this segment of the show. What does being a Democrat have to do with whether or not he was falsely accused and he's serving time and possibly could lose his life and he got sentenced to 10 years in prison? What does this have to do with being Democrat or Republican? Democrats and Republicans are working to get the dude out. They saying it's because she's a Republican senator. Yeah, but she's working with a Democrat governor in order to try to get Tory Lanez out. I need y'all to think sometimes. Think. Think. Think your way through it. Think your way through it. Think. All right? This don't have nothing to do with black, white, don't have to, because guess what? I'll tell you this also. White women do it too. There are a ton of white women. This is a cultural issue. This is a law that needs to be changed. This is a lack of accountability. This is a moral issue. This is a moral issue. This don't have nothing to do with Democrat versus Republican. Come on, y'all. Let's focus. Let's focus. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go over to this whole Harvard conversation. I want to spend 10 minutes on that. See what y'all got to say out here in these streets. He finna have mayo on his glasses soon. Keyshawn White says, only Jordan can pull off the hoop earring. Yeah, that's probably true. Tony Esquire says, you don't need my money, Anton. This is a token of appreciation. Is for you know that an army of support is out here waiting on the cold red. Blacks don't like to taste the truth, but it's medicine. Shout out to Tony Esquire. Now, let me also give a shout out to all of the 17,000 plus bag chasers and Patreon members. If you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then also thank y'all for the cash apps and the super chats. And the reason that I say thank y'all is because I never asked for it. I always just like to acknowledge the people that support the platform. I always like to just acknowledge the people that support the platform. So thank y'all, and anything that y'all give is appreciated. I'm always going to acknowledge people. Shout out to Sonia Velasquez. What up, Sonia? All right. I like my ladies. I like my Velasquez's in the building. Shout out to Trini Life also. Trini Life looking out for me on Cash App. Vintage says blood come out of them for no reason every month, yet they evil as hell. Tony Esquire says, I would love to engage as a member on your panel, but I work within that Pentagon. If word get back that I was co-signing Anton Daniels content, they're going to love you for it. My dog over in Japan says, good early morning, Anton. Reason why women ever accuse men false in Japan is because if proved wrong, they will pay court the man accused and the family will disown a woman for lying and dishonor. Oh, so they actually hold women accountable over there. Jonathan Turner says, can they not say publicly Kelsey did it because they can get sued? I have no idea. I know that Kelsey, she got immunity, if I'm not mistaken. Beat It Up Kool-Aid says, had to come check you out since Tariq kept talking about you, but it's crazy. He keeps saying do everything black, but his wife is a mixed woman. Well, let me say this, Beat It Up Kool-Aid. Uh, I don't care about his family structure. I don't involve. If I disagree with him, then that's going to be because I don't necessarily care for his talking points. I'm never going to I'm never going to bring any I don't want to know if his wife is mixed or not. I don't care. That is none of my business. That's none of my business. But let me say this though. Do you see how this benefits me? Do y'all see how this benefits me? What did I say already? I said that I like the fact that he's continuing to promote me. Why? Because Beat It Up Kool-Aid would have never known who I am, and he would have never been inspired to come and check me out had he not came over here and kicked it. So Beat It Up Kool-Aid, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on your notifications. And I live stream every Monday through Friday. Saturday is just a special occasion. But every Monday through Friday, I do live stream. And anybody that is over here to check me out, to see what we got going on over here, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Trini Life says, Anton, her white mother lives with. Hey, man, listen. Let me say this and let me set this precedent because I don't know how long this little back and forth volleyball thing that me and Tariq Nasheed got going on is going to last. If you rock with me, I don't want to hear nothing about his wife. I don't want to hear nothing about his wife's mother. I don't care if he got children. That is none of our business. Stay out of that man's family. Stay out of that man's family. I don't endorse, nor do I condone people talking about like real people. I'm not talking about in general. I'm not talking about tongue in cheek. Oh man, yeah, it's some hoes out here. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when people actually have real life situations and they visible on the internet and they may be content creators or whatever, right? Stay out of that man's life. That shouldn't even be of concern with y'all. Y'all shouldn't even be caring about what his stepmother looked like. You should not be talking about what his wife looks like. It don't matter if she mixed. And let me also say this. I am a person that believes that people should be able to marry whoever they want to marry. So if he married a white woman, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If he married a black woman, it doesn't matter. If he married a foreigner, it does not matter. I don't get involved in people's lives as far as who they family are. I don't do that. She not a content creator, obviously. His mother is not a content creator, so it's nothing for us to criticize, and we need to stay out of that. Now, we can debate and go back and forth about content, different issues, and all of that stuff. Stay out of that man's wife's life. Executive Suite MLE says he won't give you that same grace, Anton. I don't care. I don't give people agency over me. I have my own standards and I have my own way that I go about doing things. I don't care. Other people got the way that they go about doing stuff. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in going back and forth. And I do what I do. I hold myself to my own standards when it comes to this game. I don't subject myself to what everybody else got going on. I don't care about none of that. That has nothing to do with me. So I got my own tools. It don't have to do that. It can go to something else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep it 100% on you. Q says, why are so many people interested in hyping this up? Because people are messy. Because people are messy. Let me tell you something. I'm giving the people what they want because I understand the content creation game. But this is this is manifesting itself as a result of people wanting to see blood in the streets. They want to see me come at him They want to see me go at his wife. They want to see me go at his kids. They want to see me go all of that stuff. They want to see him come at me. They want to see blood in the streets. We want to see blood. People want to see beef. They want to see a debate. And that's really what it is. What content creators have to learn is how to balance it to where it's nothing more than something that benefits content creators. You know what I'm saying? It could be competition or whatever. And so that's just the nature of people. People want to see a crash out. They want to see negativity. They want to see all of this stuff, right? So that's just the nature of the beast. And nobody has seen like a beef recently, not a real one. And so they itching for it. They ready for it. What else? Let me see what's going on. In my Jamaican voice, them guiles, they wicked, AD. Shout out to Vaughn. Patrick Bowie says, what up, though? Kevin H says, I only got 30K. Am I eligible to start investing in stocks and join the bag chasers? The bag chasers and the Patreon is for people that are looking to level up. You can get started in investing in yourself if you got $100. All right. So make sure you watch Stock Club. Make sure you join Stock Club, and then we're going to talk about it. Nigel Ray says, what up, though? Patrick Bowie says, what up, though? I appreciate y'all. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. And for everybody that's new here, I don't even really stream on a Saturday. I'm surprised there's this many people here. For everybody that's new here, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right. Let's move over into the next part of the show. So let's revisit this Harvard situation. So you know that Trump and Harvard has been having its disagreements. I've already mentioned that I don't understand why Harvard decided to put their whole school's legacy, reputation, and funding on the line in order to fight for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, recently, we know that Trump had said that they're going to stop international students from being able to enroll, which is a quarter of the population over at Harvard. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of revenue that comes in from international students because they pay much higher tuition. It's a lot of things that benefit, that area in that school as a result of international students. So they going down this long road that's basically going to lead to Harvard suffering one way or another. Yesterday, I seen during the show, people were saying that a judge, a local judge, I don't know if it was a local judge or if it was a state judge, but a judge basically put a temporary halt to the decision of Trump being able to prevent international students from coming over to Harvard. So let's explore that. We're going to look at it from the CNN side, and then I'm going to go over to CBS to get Trump's perspective on this whole situation and how this is going to play out and how this continues to affect the fight that's going on between Harvard, Trump, with Harvard basically advocating for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it, y'all.
Issued a temporary restraining order on the Trump administration's ban on Harvard's ability to enroll international students. Now, that ban would impact nearly a quarter of the student body at Harvard. The administration says it's because of Harvard's handling of anti-Semitism on campus and that enrolling international students is a privilege, not a right. Harvard calls it, quote, clear retaliation for refusing to bow to the White House demands. I want to turn to CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig, who is going to explain in English what exactly this means. First of all, what we just heard from the judge, and broadly, what the actual case you think both the administration and Harvard have here.
Yeah, so Dana, this ruling just came out minutes ago. It is a big win for Harvard, temporary, but very significant. What this says is the court is blocking the Trump administration from blocking Harvard from bringing in international students. In other words, as of this moment, it's back to the status quo. Harvard may continue to bring in international students. Now, the way this case came about is the Trump administration sent a letter about a month ago in April to Harvard saying essentially, we want the following information on every one of your 7,000 international students. We want disciplinary records. We want records of any obstructive behavior by any of them, any dangerous behavior by any of them. Harvard tried to comply to the extent they could. Some of those terms are very general, but Harvard sent back documents to the Trump administration. The Trump administration said, nope, we're not satisfied, and therefore you can no longer accept these students. Now, the court today said, I'm putting that on hold. The judge said, I'm putting that on hold because to block these international students would cause irreparable harm, both to the students, some of whom are currently enrolled at Harvard. Suddenly their status was in question. Can they go back? Can they attend the summer semester? And to Harvard itself, which, as you said, about a quarter of its entire student body are these international students. So for the moment, Harvard is free to continue admitting these students, but the larger issue still has to play out in the courts.
And Ellie, what legal basis does the Trump administration have for its actions here?
So it's not exactly clear to me. It seems like the Trump administration's legal position here is we're the executive branch. We control these student visa programs, F1 and J1 student visa programs. And if we want to revoke them, we can revoke them. And by the way, we're doing this all to prevent anti-Semitism on campus. However, Harvard's response to that in their brief that they put in yesterday is, first of all, it violates our First Amendment rights. It's not up to the government, the federal government, to micromanage speech and ideology on campus. And then Harvard's second argument is, even if the administration had the right to do this, they have to comply with something called the Administrative Procedures Act, basically saying they have to go through a process. We're entitled to a hearing. We're entitled to an appeal. And none of that has been done yet. And I think that's part of the reason we saw today's ruling as well. It seems to me on the face of it, Harvard has a much stronger legal argument.
Ellie, thank you so much for helping break that down for us. Appreciate it. Good to see you. And
All right.
here at the table, I'm joined by an amazing group of reporters today. CNN's Jamie Gengel, Zolan Kano-Youngs of the New York Times, CNN's Elena Treen, and Tia Mitchell of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday of a holiday weekend. Jamie, put this in perspective.
So, as Ellie said, this is a big win for Harvard, but there is still uncertainty about how this is going to play out. Imagine if you're a student and you're wondering, will I really be able to go to class in the fall? It's also not just international students at Harvard who are panicked about this. Every university is watching this. Every business is watching this, wondering, are we next? And just big picture, this is, we were discussing this earlier, this is a real problem for our country right now because we are seeing this throughout. We're seeing it at law firms. We're seeing it at universities. We're seeing, Tim Cook at Apple was told you're going to get a 20.
Let me show y'all this really quickly. I want to show y'all exactly what the cost is to attend Harvard. Check this out. This is according to the Harvard website, harvard.edu. It said that Harvard's college tuition rates for the academic year 25-26, obviously 24-25 is already passed. The tuition rates are $59,000. That is for a 4-year tuition, right? For visiting undergraduate students, full tuition, which is what you see right here, is $56,000 plus fees. And that's for a 4-year. So tuition is $59,000, $59,320. Health services, I don't even know what that is. It's $1,800. Housing, that's basically, I guess, you staying on campus, is $13,532. Student services is $3,600. The food rate is $8,598. So your total anticipated costs for one full academic year will be basically $87,000. We need to get in the student business. You know what I'm saying? We need to get into classes. The student dog. $86,000 to go to an indoctrination camp is wild. Somebody said Harvard is basically $100,000 a year when you add all of the extras. Probably a little bit more. The average, what is the average? Let me see something. Average household income in the United States is $80,000 a year. The median household income for the United States in 2023 was $80,000 a year. And this was an increase from the 2022 median of $77,540. Dang, it's crazy. So if the median household income is 80K, and obviously it's a wide range in between there, and it costs you more than $80,000 in order to go to school, it's crazy. My man from Japan says, why is college so expensive in the United States of America? Because it's a racket. Because it's a racket. To stay on campus and to go over to Harvard, it's going to cost you $87,000 a year. That's crazy. Whew. Good God. Do graduate? All right, I'll look up graduate in a second. Let me go back to this video where they're discussing it.
5% tariff. Both Democrats and Republicans have said to me, this is what authoritarian capture looks like.
And so what the administration is sort of going in with, and what they started to go in with at other schools, but Harvard in particular, has been you didn't handle the very raw, very real anti-Semitism that made Jewish students feel uncomfortable and unsafe for a long time, particularly after October 7th. Well, and so we are going to punish you. What the administration did with their threats is went far beyond anti-Semitism. And they made demands from Harvard that were based on political ideology, having really nothing to do with anti-Semitism. And that's one of the things that Larry Summers, who has had a lot of jobs, Treasury Secretary, but he was also the president of Harvard for a while. Here's what he said this morning on CNN.
Harvard Graduate School of Education is saying roughly $60,000. That's what it's saying, 60 grand. It's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money. Here's the breakdown, right? This is what it really comes down to, is that it is a war. And it is going to be something that is tested in the courts. It's going to cost Harvard a lot of money. It's probably going to cost them a lot in research. And more importantly, it's damaging their reputation as far as people willing to spend and send their child over here in the United States of America, because 25%, 1/4 of everybody that goes to Harvard, 25% of their entire population, of their student population that can even afford to go to Harvard in the first place, are international students. And that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. If I am a person that's looking to make sure that my child get an American education, because that is a very popular thing, and I have resources, I'm probably not even going to consider Harvard, considering that my child can get deported or something is happening because they choose to fight the good fight. Is it fair? Probably not. Probably not. But if you are a person, again, that's looking at it from a business perspective, would you send your child, if you have the option to send your child to any school, but you want them to get an American education, would you then send them to Harvard, considering everything that's going on? Would you send them to Harvard? That's the whole point. This has nothing to do with whether they win or lose. Harvard loses no matter what. They lose no matter what. They take a hit across the board, no matter what. Is there? You said it's an Anton Daniels. If there's an Anton Daniels profile inside of the chat, go ahead and mute it and block it. Go ahead and block that. Don't even time it out. Just block it. If there's an Anton Daniels profile inside of the chat, just go ahead and just block them off completely. Mods, you got to get on that shit. Oh, there it is. I see it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead. There we go. That's how you know that people have too much time on their hands. Think about this from this front. Think about being a person that's sitting in your basement or sitting in your living room, and you're supposed to be trying to figure out how to make money, and you get off a Call of Duty for a second, and you say, you know what? I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a profile of Anton Daniels just so I can subscribe, then chat, and then get blocked. Do you think about what kind of effort? You got 30-year-olds that act like 13-year-olds. They go jack off and then they go do stuff like that. Y'all ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing better to do. You ain't got no pussy to get. Even at 13, I was trying to bust it down for a real one. You ain't got nothing to do. Ain't no food to go eat. Ain't no go play outside. Go ride your bike. Anything. You did all of that just for nothing. That's gay. That's gay in real life. They want the milk. They want man milk. They probably already got man milk. That's pretty gay. Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Nigel Ray says Tory won't get released. California used him as an example for their gun laws. They have the worst gun laws in the United States of America. If he gets released, no go. Don Gorgon says, want the truth? Ask the guy why he stabbed Tory. Well, they got to make sure that they can get it out of him first. Devastator says Cadillac Escalade prices go to college. I pass. What if that was his name for real? Then why did he have my face on his profile photo? That's not his name for real. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. All right, y'all, let's get over to Trump and Harvard, and then we're going to go over to Chicago really quickly. I'm not sorry, Trump, Harvard. Trump and the tariffs on iPhones. So that was the next thing that I wanted to tackle. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's spend 10 minutes on this and let's keep it moving.
Do you have any questions for these brilliant people? They are brilliant people, actually.
I have a question for you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, on nuclear, sir, a lot of the concern over the years that's held the nuclear industry back has been about safety. Are you satisfied with those safety concerns?
Yeah, we are. It's become it's become very safe, and a tremendous work's been done on that, more than anything else. And it's really the automatic shutoffs. There's so many different things that they have now that they would have never had. You know, my uncle was a great nuclear person years ago, and that was a different, if you would have asked that question, probably it would have been a much different answer. But they have tremendous shutoff power and other powers that, and it's very redundant, as I understand it, like at a level that nobody's ever seen before. So it's safe. And we're going to do a lot of the small ones, and we're going to do some of the big ones. But yeah, very safe and clean.
Mr. President,
let's keep it on this for a little while. Let's keep it on the nuclear, and then if you want to ask something else, which you might, we'll do that.
On nuclear, Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
What did you say to folks who are concerned that speeding up licensing or even doing fuel or processing raises safety and proliferation?
Yeah, we're going to get it very fast, and we're going to get it very safe, and we're going to get the people in and out. And they're going to do plants. In many cases, they'll do 3 or 4 smaller ones and put them together. That's what France has done. France has done a good job of this for years. And they, as I understand it, they had basically one plan And if they needed more, they'd do 3 or 4 or 5 of them. I don't know, we have to go that far, but there's something about building one big one. But we'll build the big ones too. We're going to have, I think I would say we'll be second to none because we're starting very strong. But it's time. It's time for nuclear, and we're going to do it very big. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, what about the European Union? You said that negotiations are going nowhere. Where are the kind
They're
of
just
points
very
where
slow moving. I've been saying to everybody, they've treated us very badly over the years. It was formed in order to hurt the United States, in order to take advantage of the United States, and they've done that. We have a big deficit with them. They sell millions and millions of cars, as you know, Mercedes and BMW and Volkswagen and many others. And we were restricted from restricted from selling cars into the European Union, which is not nice. And I just said it's time that we play the game the way I know how to play the game. They've taken advantage of other people representing this country, and they're not going to do that any longer. Yeah.
Mr. President, you are a deal maker, deal breaker. What are you hoping to achieve with a 50% tariffs on the?
Well, I think this is there is no tariff, because what they'll do is they'll send their companies into the U.S. and build their plant. We have, I guess, over $12 trillion practically committed. You look at other presidents; they haven't had $1 trillion for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. We have numbers. Nobody's ever seen numbers like we have. And if they build their plant here, then they have no tariff at all.
Are you looking for a deal in 9 days? Will you be able to do that, sir?
I'm not looking for a deal. I mean, we've set the deal. It's at 50%. But again, there is no tariff if they build their plant here. Now, if somebody comes in and wants to build a plant here, I can talk to them about a little bit of a delay. But, while they're building their plant, which is something I think that would be appropriate, maybe we'll determine that.
Is there anything they can do, sir? Is there anything the EU can do?
I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But right now it's going on June 1st. And that's the way it is. No, they haven't treated us properly. They haven't treated our country properly. They banded together to take advantage of us. And the people behind me know, because they had some of that with their industry. But generally, we signed a great deal with United Kingdom. We have numerous other deals that are ready to be signed. We've signed a deal with China. We have some really amazing deals, but the European Union, I mean, the sole purpose was really not to hurt us, but to take advantage of us. And we're not going to be taking
Mr. President.
So, all right. A lot of times the way that you start to deal with countries and their leadership is 2 ways. The first way is to attack them through their constituents. When you see Canada, for example, and they would come over here and they would say, hey, listen, American people, we love you guys. But the Trump administration, they're trying to hurt us. But they didn't know that the majority of the company was actually backing Trump, because we realized that Canada and Mexico had been taking advantage of the United States of America because we didn't need them nearly as much as they said that they needed us, right? And so what you'll start to find is, if you want to start attacking people, then you have to threaten them with the removal of power. They can't do that here in the United States of America. Trump is in his final term. And more importantly, Trump is absolutely, positively running with the speed of an Olympic sprinter when it comes to delivering on the promises that he made on the campaign trail. The second way that you deal with people, and this is more or less how we are transitioning, when you move over to a different type of president that have a business profile, that look at things from a business perspective. The second thing that you start to realize is that the way that you hit a country is through their business community. So their inability to do business at the same capacity, which they are now incentivized, because guess what? The one thing that we like here in the United States of America, I don't care if you're white, I don't care if you're black, I don't care if you look like you're on Miami Vice from Miami itself. We love to celebrate a foreign. We love to celebrate foreigners. Yes, we do. All foreign everything. We like foreign cars. We like foreign bags. We like foreign hoes. The only thing that we don't necessarily care about is having foreign money. But we love us a foreign. Hey, man, you ain't even driving a real foreign. That's a Kia. Ain't nothing wrong with a Kia. Ain't nothing wrong with a Hyundai. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that. People can't wait to say that they got a foreign, even if it's a CLA 250. Or what is it, a CLA 250? It could be the entry model, but people not gonna say, yo, I got that new entry, I got that CLA 250, or I got the entry model Mercedes. They're gonna say, yeah, man, I'm riding a foreign. Yeah, man, I'm riding a foreign. We celebrate foreign. We by default think that Civics is better than everything that we make. We think that anything foreign is just better. It's just better. We think that foreign women is better than our women. Now, that's one thing that I've never believed. I've never believed that foreign women is better than American women at all. I think that American culture has some issues, but I don't believe that foreign women is better than American women. You got people that go overseas and they think that just because they buy in box that the women are more submissive. No, they're just cheaper because they're poor. They're cheaper because they're poor. 100%. Did you know that 10% of the population over in Thailand is ladyboys? 10%. Most of the women over in Thailand is single. Because first of all, the majority of them are women. Secondly, a huge portion, like 10% of the population, is enrolled and they got to go and serve in the military. 10% of the population is ladyboys. And so you have this huge gap between women and men, and women trying to get their singleness off of them. Somebody said that's your opinion. No, that's not my opinion. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. It ain't nothing that I'm saying that's cap. 100%. 100% of what I'm saying is true. It ain't nothing that I'm saying that's not true. Think about it. You have the ability to go outside right now and walk down the street and go and talk to a woman. Dudes would rather get a passport, jump on a flight, fly out of town, go to a completely different country in order to petition for some box. That's how much we value foreign everything. We don't look at things and say it's iconic. Anything that is made outside of the United States. I've seen people championing Chinese cars. I said, what? What? What is going on? Dog, I'll be damned if I fly out the country to get a disease. I can get my own homegrown disease right here inside of the United States of America from these hoes right here on the streets. I'll be damned if I fly out of town to go. And listen, if that's what you're moving like, I think that people should do what they want to do as long as they're not doing it illegally. But I'll be damned if I get the clap outside of the country and I bring it back. You know that when you go through customs, they force you to declare, hey, did you bring anything back? Did you buy anything? Yep. Herpes. Brought back some herpes, some chlamydia. My prep didn't work, so I might have a little bit of AIDS, maybe a little bit of HIV. You can get facts, holla at Dre. You can go to Houston to get that. You can go to Oakland and go get that. You can go get that right now. I know some girls on TikTok that'll make sure that they fill you up. Fill you up. Kyrie Swervin says, AAD, I got a Toyota. I had a Toyota before. I had a Lexus. All it was an overglorified Toyota, the Camry. The Lexus was the Camry. It just had a couple extra leathers in it and an L on the front of it. The same way that a Cadillac was you know what I'm saying? The Escalade is nothing but a Suburban and a Tahoe and a Yukon. and a Yukon Denali on steroids. But I love Escalade. It's the same thing when it comes to Toyota. It's the same thing when it comes to Genesis. But Genesis GV90 is the same thing as a fucking Elantra built on the same skateboard platform. They all the same, bro. I'll do you even one better. There are some Hondas and Toyotas that's literally General Motors vehicles. Did you know that there's Honda electric vehicles and there's Honda gas-powered vehicles that are made literally inside of General Motors plants? It's literally inside of a General Motors plant. Absolutely it is. 100%. A Lamborghini Urus is nothing but an Audi. It's got Audi underpinnings, all of that. Now, don't mean I'm not going to get the Lamborghini Urus, but you just got to understand what you're getting yourself into. I understand that I'm buying a souped up Audi. I get it. I'm 100% buying a souped up Audi. I know what I'm buying, and that's exactly what I'm going for. I'm not, don't be disillusioned. Don't be disillusioned. I'm not delusional about my decisions. I know that I'm buying an Audi. Facts, 100% facts. And Audis are nice. And the Cayenne is made on the same platform also. Listen, the Volkswagen, the Audi, the Cayenne, the Porsche Cayenne, and the Lamborghini Urus. I don't care if you get a Performante. I don't care what you get. They're all the same vehicle. They are literally the same vehicle, 100%. Yep, Infinities is a Nissan. Acura is a Honda. Lexus is a Toyota. Cadillac is a General Motors. Lincoln is a Ford. It's all Lincoln Expedition and the Navigator is made on the same platform. I just like the Navigator. It's the look of it. Subarus are gay. Subarus are gay. When I see Subaru, Subarus are gay. I'm gonna tell Quentin to add it to the list. Subarus are gay. Let me tell you what I see when I see men that drive Subarus. When I see guys that drive Subarus, I think of guys who are being bossed around by their white wife. Somebody says Subarus last 100 years. Yeah, we don't care. I'm not going to be here for 100 years. I want that joint for the next 3 years. I want it for 3 years. Nope. That's it. After that, I'm trading it in. I don't even care if it's not going to hold up. I don't care if the quality is not as good. I'm only keeping it for 3 years, and I'm trading it in. Care nothing about that? Men that drive Subarus, I know you getting cucked out by your wife. They do. Honey, can we get a nice family vehicle? Want something with a hatchback on it? Yes, they be vegan. Men that drive Subarus, they eat vegan cheese. They either shop at Aldi's or Trader Joe's. And they always keep talking about how well the car is going to hold up over time. I don't give a fuck about your car holding up. I'm not even going to have this car in 3 years. Listen. We don't even know if the world going to be here in 3 years. I'm balling out now. I'm buying everything that I want. I'm balling out now. You know what I'm saying? They keep trying to do things organically. I'm getting it out right now. I don't even know what's going to happen in 3 years. This whole world could be just torched. Yep, they get a bike rack on it. And then they get some canoes. They may get a canoe on the top of it and go outbacking. If you drive a Subaru, you gay. Let me get back to this live stream. We so stupid on a Saturday.
Mr. President, on Apple, you said this morning that if they don't make their iPhones in the U.S., you're going to hit them with a 25% tariff.
Right.
Do you have the power to tariff one single company? And why would you want to hurt an American company in that way?
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
Somebody said, Anton do it, a Millionaire Morning Show on a Saturday. Bills must be due. Yeah, for your chick. For your chick. We don't have to listen. We don't have the same problems that y'all be having. I don't have bills, nigga. I don't have no bills. I have 0 bills. You know what the only bills that I have? Payroll. That's it. I don't have no bills. And I know that you drive a Subaru. You're the type of person to get your woman the best car. I bought my girl the best car because, I always got to make sure that I put her first. You gay. You gay. You in a lavender marriage. You in a lavender marriage. That's what you are. I don't have bills. Yeah, I don't have no car note. You know what I got? I got insurance and payroll. That's it. You in a lavender marriage. That's what you are. Oh, y'all want me to stay focused? All right, my bad. Let me go ahead and continue. I thought this was Saturday. I thought I could crash out on a Saturday.
So anybody that makes that product, and that'll start on, I guess, the end of June. It'll come out. I think we have that appropriately done by the end of June. So if they make that product. Now, again, when they build their plant here, there's no tariff. So they're going to be building plants here. But I had an understanding with him that he wouldn't be doing this. He said he's going to India to build plants. I said, that's okay to go to India, but you're not going to sell into here without tariffs. And that's the way it is. Yeah.
Well, why would you hurt an American company?
What makes you confident, sir, that Apple can build in the United States at a price that American consumers?
Oh, they can. No, they can. And a lot of it's so computerized now. These plants are amazing if you look at them, but they can do that. And actually, as you know, Apple's coming in with $500 billion. So are the chip companies. We have all of the chip companies coming in. The biggest, $500 billion, $200 billion, $250 billion they're spending. But we're talking about the iPhone now, and I'm
gonna tell y'all about a
if they're going
marriage in a minute.
to sell it in America, I want it to be built in the United States. They're able to do that.
When you say that
Well,
Walmart,
essentially, Trump wants he wants American companies to spend more time building American products. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want them spending all of their money and giving all of their money away to foreign places. He want to incentivize them to come over here to America, and so he'll work with you. But he don't want them giving all of their money to India. He wants them giving all of their money inside of the United States of America. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find a good thing. Let me see. Is this a good one? All right. So this is a lavender marriage. I'm going to share this. All right. Let's see if I can show y'all this.
I am currently taking applications for a lavender marriage. I am not joking.
It seems that women and men, and not necessarily gay men at that, they are entering these marriages for different reasons, from meeting societal or familial expectations to surviving economically. And this turning point kind of shows the evolution of lavender marriages into marriages of convenience. Here is my hot take that nobody asked for. For a woman, every marriage should be a marriage of convenience. Like, it should improve your life somehow, because if not, what's the point? Hey, bestie. Welcome to this.
All right, let me see if I can find something else. Let me see.
If I had to sum up today's entire video in a single word, it would be understandable. People on TikTok are flirting with the idea of marrying each other solely for financial benefit, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. Lavender marriages have re-entered the chat. And if you're familiar with the term, it used to mean one thing, but Gen Z has sort of rediscovered the concept and they're embracing it in a completely different way. And it's raising some interesting questions like, what is a relationship? What does marriage even mean? And most importantly, will you marry me? But first, welcome. My name is D'Angelo, and I am your professor of aerial matrimony, which is a very real degree that I definitely do have. Or maybe this is just me broadcasting myself talking in my room like YouTube used to be. And in today's lecture, it's a small topic, but I think it's a really intriguing question. Would you marry somebody you didn't love just to make your life easier? It's a question I was seriously asking myself after I saw this article from Business Insider. For Gen Zers tired of dating, lavender marriages are looking more appealing. So I remember the term lavender marriage being used in a really specific context. Basically, before gay marriage was legalized, and moreover, before gay relationships were acceptable at all, some men and women would marry each other knowing full well that one of the partners was gay. And so it was a way to avoid the social stigma of being single or being out, etc.
So that's basically what a lavender marriage is. A lavender marriage is where one of the people, most of the time it's a guy, one of the people are basically gay and they're marrying each other to either avoid the stigma of being labeled as gay, or they're marrying each other for benefits that come along with being married financially, whether that be student loans, whether that may be buying a house, whether that may be whatever, the benefits or whatever. But the idea of it is that they don't have sex. They're not even interested in each other sexually. But then at the same time, they decide to marry each other. Or a lot of times, one of them may be disillusioned at the fact that the other one is actually gay, but they still get married, and maybe he still busts her down based off of convenience, but the whole world can see that he gay, and everybody and they within a relationship are disillusioned about the fact that whether or not they even really like each other. So that's the whole idea. The whole idea of a lavender marriage is that a gay guy or a gay woman is marrying a man or a woman, and it's a heterosexual marriage, right? So it's not two girls and two guys. It's a guy and a girl that gets married, and one of them is gay, but they still get married for whatever reason. That's the whole idea of a lavender marriage. All right. You know what? Throwing out your lavender jacket tonight? Tia Mauriso's lavender is a new way to say down low. Because down low is down low. Down low is the woman don't know that the guy is messing with guys. That's DL guys. Lavender is much different. Lavender is that she knows, but that they still get into a relationship or they get married. Facts, David Yeti. What? No box, but more responsibility? No, I'm good. Facts. That's a fact. I've learned so much being on the internet since social media has. Yeah, and lavender marriage is correct, Azriel. They both know. They both know. Correct, Tia Marie. She's a willing fool. It's stupid. It's stupid. I think that, you know what I believe. I believe that box should be optional. Getting the optional box should be a thing, regardless of whether if she your friend in a relationship or not. I think that box from a relational perspective, should be the man's option to turn down. And y'all can't debate me. Y'all can't tell me that I'm wrong today because we don't have after hours today, and we had after hours yesterday, so I could say what I want and without any kind of reservation or without anybody pushing back on me. I believe that box should be men's to turn down. It should be a man's option of whether or not he want the box or not. Now, that don't mean that you got to take it. You know what I'm saying? You should have deep discipline. You should be moving appropriate, and you should be on top of your business. And you never should prioritize box over taking care of business and all of that. But I think that box should be men's to turn down, 100%. I said this on After Hours and y'all was confused about it. And Human Resources is closed on Saturday. I said this on After Hours and y'all was confused about it. And the reason that y'all was so confused, the reason why it was guys that was so confused is because y'all so used to doing things. You used to playing husband role without husband control. That's all it is. Y'all so, because y'all be watching this with your best female friend and let me tell you something, bro. Women want it just as bad as you do. You just too scared to broach the conversation and you too old for that. If you are above the age of 23, 20, I'll put it up a little higher. If you're above the age of 26, you should not be scared to tell the woman how you feel about her. All right. The worst thing that she can say is, I'm not really feeling it. This is not really my thing. And then she's freed you. Now you don't have to pretend like you cool with her. You don't have to pretend like her stories is fun. You don't have to pretend like she's fun to hang around. You don't have to pretend like you happy to see her go and get dressed and go out with another guy, even though you're the one that's hearing all of her stories and being her emotional support animal. You are free now. Tell her. Best case scenario, she say, you know what? I was waiting on you to say that. Worst case scenario, she gonna say, I wasn't really feeling you like that. You messed up the friendship. Now you don't have to deal with her annoying laugh and her stupid smile, and you know that she got something dumb about her. She got one leg longer than the other one, and so she kind of walk with a limp, but you keep ignoring and acting like, no, you walk normal. And even though she got a heel that's slightly bigger than the other one, you ain't got to deal with that. You're free. You're free. You don't want that stress, bro. I promise you. If you're above the age of 26, you need to let that go. You need to let that go. Now, there are going to be some women that you just literally look at as friends. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have optional box benefits also. You're probably never going to take advantage of it. You know what? I don't really want it. That's not really a thing. You like little sis to me or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have optional box benefits. Don't mean you shouldn't have optional box benefits. She keep calling you every time she get put out, somewhere to stay. Look, dog, let me say this. If her man feel absolutely comfortable and don't see you as a threat at all, that's a problem. That's a problem, bro. Because either you like really good at managing effectively, or he just kind of see you as gay. But free yourself. Free yourself. Stop letting her put you in a box. Push those cardboard walls down, break out, and be better. Be a better man. Don't let them put you in a box, dog. Don't let them put you in a box. You're better than that. You're better than than being put in a box, in a friendship box. Oh, I don't really see you that way. Well, I don't see you on my phone at all. Every time she called, you know what you should do? And we're going to get over to the next part of the show. Just ignore. Every time she call you, don't answer the phone. Stop answering the phone. You ain't even got to tell her, hey, listen, I don't think we can be friends no more. Don't announce it. Just stop answering the phone. And then when you finally do answer the phone, make sure you got a chick with you in the background laughing loud. Oh my God, you're so... Yeah, girl. Hey, what's going on? Nah, I'm just kind of busy right now. What's happening? Oh, I just ain't talked to you in a while. I was just calling to check. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. Girl, you ain't talking about nothing. You just be busy. I'm gonna check out with you later. Don't just ignore. Then you're gonna start looking attractive. Ooh, he got motion. Now you're gonna start looking attractive to her. Stop entertaining the nonsense. Stop answering the phone. Stop picking it up on the first ring. Did you call? Did she call? Did she call? Who is that? Did she call? Ignore it. Stop checking for her. Stop checking for her. Next time you see her, when y'all hug each other, give her a kiss on the neck. Mwah. See how she react to it. Mwah. If she doing all this, or if she come and call, what was that? Don't answer the phone no more. Don't answer the phone no more. If she hug you harder, keep kissing. If she don't want to let you go, then keep kissing. Oh, then when y'all hug, put your hand around her, start rubbing her. But you don't want to rub, like, you know how a woman's shirt be kind of short. Rub the skin part of the back. It's up from there. You off to the races. You off to the races, bro. I'm trying to tell you. All right. I keep trying to tell y'all. Maybe I'm a little toxic. But listen, toxic is good. Toxic is fun. You know what I say all the time? And then we gotta get to Brandon Johnson, all right? Because I know it's Saturday and we just kick it. You know what I say is fun? There's nothing better than being in a slightly toxic relationship. It's so exciting. When I don't like you for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like when you get mad at me and I leave anyway. Oh, when you call my phone 57 times and then I answer on the 58th time and say, "What's going on? What up?" No, because you stressing me out. Oh, that's the best. That's the best type of relationships. Only answer don't answer anything less than 57 calls. Don't answer when she pisses you off. Answer on the 58th call, not 57, not 56, not 59, or answer on 58. 58th call. If your phone not red going all the way down with miss, she don't love you in my opinion. She don't love you in my opinion. Not a call before. She don't love you. If she don't call you 57 times and then you hit her with the boop, boop, boop. And she say, "Why you hang up on me?" And then but here's the key. All right, I'm gonna give y'all the game. Here's the key. When she call you on the 57th time, don't say nothing when you answer the phone. Just cut it on, but allow her to hear that you're working in the background or that you can hear. And hello? Hello? I know you hear me. Keep typing. And then after about 2 or 3 minutes, what? What's up? Yeah, what's up? What's going on? I'm not going to keep on telling y'all all of my toxic secrets. I'm not going to tell you my secrets. I'm not going to tell you my secrets. I'm not going to tell you my secrets. And then I have a nice little handbag for her waiting for her. Call her a little something. Ugh, you get on my nerve. Have a little handbag and they're going to come over. Who is that for? That's for you. My God, you love me so much. She gonna come over, give you a hug, just push her head on down in your lap. Cut the computer off. Make sure you're not live streaming. Push her head down in your lap. Curl up, take a nap like a baby. You're gonna sleep like a god. You're gonna sleep like a god, I'm telling you. Anyways. Y'all ready to continue on? Y'all ready to continue on with the show? Y'all ready? Yeah. Y'all ready to continue on with the show? It's Saturday. Y'all should have expected this. Push her head on down. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and continue. We got a show to do. We have a show to do, y'all. We cannot keep being derailed. We have a show to do. All right. I need to do more Saturday shows. This is crazy. This is a universal language, big dog. This is a universal language. It ain't right. It ain't right unless you look down. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. Reading super chat shortly. Chicago. What up, Chicago? Mayor Brandon Johnson. Somebody told me he was asked directly to his face. That's what we needed last night. Well, that's what you can look forward to on Tuesday. Somebody told me he was asked directly to his face, was he racist? And if he was pandering to black people or to people that vote for him. And this is what he had to say. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. If y'all like the Saturday show, let me know and we'll talk about it. And then hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
Back to the DOJ investigation. You know, one thing people say about you is wherever you go, you sound like you're talking to your base. Which would basically be the black church, right? In this environment where Washington is scrutinizing Chicago, do you agree or regret that it always sounds like you're talking to black voters? And so sometimes your message gets lost in translation for a broader audience.
Yeah. So I've talked about having the lowest amount of homicides in April. The lowest amount since 1962. That speaks to the entire city of Chicago. Robberies being down. That's all of Chicago. Building affordable homes. That's all of Chicago. Our mental and behavioral health support services for our care program, the expansion of mental and behavioral health. It's all of Chicago. When I talk about building affordable homes and building homes downtown, you can make an assumption that I'm only talking about one particular race as well. We know who concentrates in that particular part of the city. So, look, it sounds like to me that people tune in to what they want to tune into.
That's a lot.
Because the fact of the matter is that I've shown up for this entire city. When we put $1 billion in our public school system, we don't cherry pick. Now, that benefits all of our children. There's going to be class sizes that are going to be smaller in every section of the city. We're building for green social housing. Some folks felt that it didn't concentrate enough in Black Chicago, right? When we're talking about, a Bears stadium, that's the benefit with these economic opportunities for all of Chicago.
Stop it. The Bears ain't staying in Chicago. The Bears is getting the hell up out of there. That's a fact. I'm willing to bet money on that. He's the worst business mayor ever. He's the worst negotiator ever. He really needs to go and talk to Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan on how to look at, it's almost impossible though. You can't take somebody that was a public school teacher and try to make them into a businessman. They don't know You know what I'm saying? What the economic impact is. They don't know what it means to not have a district, an entertainment district that largely caters to or the foundation of it is a sports team. You know who gets it, for example? You know who gets it? Dallas. Dallas gets it because they are now going to be building up an entertainment district in Dallas that is anchored by the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is the blueprint. Oklahoma City is doing the same thing. Oklahoma City is building one of the tallest buildings in the United States of America, and they are anchoring it by creating an entertainment district that is largely centered around sports teams. Detroit put, and this is another thing that I have to give Detroit the credit for. Detroit made sure that they brought all of the sports teams within walking distance to each other. You can literally walk from Comerica Park where the Detroit Tigers play, and you can cross the street and you'll be at Ford Field where the Lions play. They're all right in the exact same area, almost across the street from each other everywhere. The Pistons, the Red Wings, the Lions, and the Tigers, they're all right there in District Detroit. Yep, you got it. You got it, Wood. Walk on Wood, you got it. They're all literally right there in an entertainment district. And Comerica Park is across the street from Fox, from the Fox Theater. The Fox Theater is literally walking distance right across from Little Caesars Arena. And then you move right down. That's when you start getting a lot of people that follow my blogs. You go right down. They build an Apple store. They build an Aloe store. The Hudson's building is going up. That's about to open up. Campus Martius Park. Greektown is getting a redo. That's being redone over. All of these places, they're right there. If you want to have an anchor, that's why I hate Houston so much. Houston is the most spread out city that I've ever been, the most spread out major city that I've ever been to in my entire life. Houston, I don't know what their city planners was doing, but it's such a weird city. It take an hour to get from one side to the other side. It's such a weird city. So the Bears is out of there, though. The Bears is getting gone. I think that the Bears is leaving Chicago 100%.
You know, when Beyonce hits me up and she wants to come to Chicago, she's going to perform for everybody. So, you know, this notion that somehow what it sounds like, let's just look at the facts. We have the most diverse administration in the history of this city.
Mm-hmm.
We've invested so much in environmental justice. Everybody cares about that. You know, and so I'll just end with this. Why wouldn't I speak to Black Chicago? Why wouldn't I? Black Chicago and Black people in America have borne the brunt of the type of policies and the maneuvering and the...
He's basically telling you that he is biased and he is racist, whereas he's supposed to be working for everybody in the city. He's basically saying that I'm going to pander to Black people in Chicago. Even though they're not giving y'all nothing, even though you see Chicago, you know what Mayor Johnson won't do? He will never talk to the people that's on the ground floor. Danny C, shout out to Danny C, Chicago Flips Red, all of them, he will refuse to even acknowledge them. He won't talk to them. He won't kick it with them. He won't alleviate their fears. He won't try to, if I'm mayor and I'm trying to create the best environment for people to be able to thrive and also make myself more appealing to the rest of the city, guess what? I would talk to my enemies. I would talk to my adversaries. I would talk to the people that's against me and I would say, all right, come here. Let me bring y'all in and let me give y'all a tour, show y'all what's going on. And then I can answer any questions that y'all may have. And then y'all can give me y'all ideas and I want to hear what y'all got to say. If I'm there to serve the people, then I would hear that. He doesn't talk to Black Chicago. He talks to liberal Black Chicago. He talks to Black women in Chicago. He talks to Black church members in Chicago. He does not talk to Black Chicago, because the funny thing about Black people that I've learned, especially liberals and the people that are always talking about pro-Black, the funny thing that I learned about them is that when they say they talk Black, they talk to a specific demographic of Black people. They don't align themselves with all Black people. They don't serve all Black people. They serve the South Side of Chicago. They do this, they do that. They separate themselves from a group of Black people And if you have a difference of opinion, if you have a different political party, if you have a different way to go about seeing things, you are going to speak to only the ones that agree with you. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is only applicable when it comes to the look alone. It doesn't apply to diversity of thought. It doesn't apply to diversity of party. It doesn't apply to diversity of socioeconomic status. It does not apply. The only thing diversity, equity, inclusion applies to is physical appearance. That's it, bro. That's it. Nothing more.
Humiliating tactics that are coming from the federal government right now. It's not a secret. Who is going to be mad at the fact that we have to prioritize spaces in the city that have been harmed the most? Everybody agrees with that. Now, and if you don't agree with that, then that's a prerogative that they'll get to own. But we don't have to apologize for being concerned about the residents of this city who have borne the brunt of school closures.
And let me also tell y'all this, because he's trying to make y'all forget. Politicians are really great. Nancy Pelosi has mastered this. Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan, she's mastered it. Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Bernie Sanders, they all mastered this. They're masters. They learned from Bill Clinton. They learned from Nancy Pelosi. They've learned from the greatest of Democrats, right? They're really, really, really good at speaking to your issues when they're done doing the thing that's the most egregious to your issues. What do I mean? Notice how we're not still holding him accountable for what he did as far as well over the last 2 years, as far as what he did about immigrants coming into Chicago, being sanctuary cities, and making sure that he funded everything that they needed. Do you realize we have such short memories? I say this to people all the time. Listen, if people are mad at you, give it 2 weeks. If people are mad at you, if you're going viral, if something is happening where people disagree with you, give it 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they'll forget about it. It'll be a completely different conversation. Nobody will care. You'll move on and you'll create new content. It doesn't matter. There'll be a new story. Diddy will come along, or Shannon Sharp is going to show up. Give it 2 weeks. Nobody is talking about Shannon Sharp in this case no more. That story died. Nobody cares about the Diddy case anymore. Diddy had been forgotten about, and then they started the trial. Cassie testified. We talked about it over the next week and a half, and nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about Smokey Robinson getting sued for $50 million. Nobody cares. You know why? Because there's something else that we need to talk about. Because we got to talk about Tory Lanez now. Right? We got to talk about something new. If you think that people care, if you're going through something, if people is talking about you, don't worry about it. Give it 2 weeks. It'll be something new. We'll be talking about something completely different. And this is what they know. This is what they depend on. This is what Brandon Johnson understands. He understands that the people who he's speaking to have short memories, and they're going to forget about what happened during the migrant crisis, and they're going to forgive him because they don't even remember that he did it. Then they're going to be focusing on whether or not he's pandering to them, not what he did during his administration. This is why politicians become lifetime politicians, and they don't ever leave, even though their districts, even though their communities, even though their cities are failing.
Think about unemployment in this city where it is mostly concentrated. Think about violence where it's mostly concentrated. It would be shameful if I were to repeat the sins of those who have been in this position before, because they did not speak enough to Black Chicago. It's why the conditions have worsened. And under my watch and under my administration, we're going to make those critical investments to ensure that every single person in the city of Chicago benefits from my administration. And we know that a rising tide will lift all boats.
Right, right.
Hey, Mayor. So today in zoning committee, the Ani project just north of Bally's, it's been stalled for a year. It's coming up.
Mayor, if we can go back to the DOJ thing, how would you say that race factors into your hiring decisions as you're trying to build your administration?
Well, look, I do believe that there is a tremendous amount of value to make sure that we have qualified, talented people who work in government. I'm feel blessed that our budget director, who just happens to have a JD, right? It's pretty fascinating. I mean, it's not a requirement of the job, but she brings that element. When I think about someone like Angela Tovar, who is, leading up our, environmental department, her skill set and her reputation around the globe is just absolutely, it's just amazing, quite frankly. What I look for people who are competent, right? People who are collaborative and people who are compassionate. Is there a value to make sure that people who are closest to neighborhoods bring that level of expertise? There's value in that. Of course, there's value in diversity, and we should never shy away from that. Unfortunately, I believe the reason why we've had so many ailments that we've had to address is because there's been a hyper concentration of a particular group or gender that has dominated politics. Right. Once upon a time, I think mayoral administrations were probably 70% white. Now, when I think about what's happening at the federal level, let's just focus there for a second. One Black person in his entire administration. Now, I don't know if this is a correlation, but only having one Black person in his administration and individuals that I would question their qualifications, you're running up major departments and your background is wrestling. I mean, and maybe there's something valuable there, but.
Is he talking about Linda McMahon? That is head at WWE? That is a billionaire? Wait. He's saying that Linda McMahon isn't qualified to lead, but he is, and he's a school teacher? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. He said your background is See, this is how they deceive. This is how they deceive. Get the hell out of here. Let me look up. Hold on, let me see something. They say that Linda McMahon's net worth is close to $3.2 billion. This nigga is out of his mind, bro. I don't know what he's smoking. Third grade social studies teacher.
We're not seeing it, right? So as the Trump administration moves away from diversity, you're seeing more chaos. As my administration embraces diversity, you're seeing us build the safest, most affordable city in America. So look, I look at a variety of things, and to have an administration that reflects not just the values of our city, but it shows up even in their backgrounds. I think that there's value to that. And I'm very proud of the fact that we're a growing administration that reflects the city of Chicago. Everyone.
Okay, just a brief follow-up.
Sure.
Will the DOJ find any discriminatory practices in how people are hired?
Again, the approach is an approach that speaks to competency. That's it. This would be unprecedented, but if you just look at the way the Trump's administration is reflecting right now, I'm calling on the Department of Justice to investigate the Trump's administration and its discriminatory practices in their hiring. Thank you all. I've been waiting to use that. I tried it with my son. He told me not to, but.
You practicing speeches on your son? With your son? God, Lord, I don't even know how. Chicago, y'all fucked. Y'all are absolutely fucked, bro. Anyways, I don't even want to talk about Brandon Johnson. I had to throw that in there because y'all kept sending it to me. And so there you go. There you have it. All right. Let's see what we got here. Al Fillmore says, I wonder if that 25% is guaranteed college money and the other 75% are on them loans. Shout out to my Japanese people. Says, I'm currently looking at a Dodge Viper to get shipped here in Japan. My drift car is with my mom in the USA. Yes, a Dodge Viper is an incredible vehicle. They hold their value. I used to know a person that was a part of the engineering team that created the Dodge Viper. Incredible vehicle. Incredible vehicle. I knew the lead engineer that created the Dodge Viper. It's an incredible car.
Hey, what's up, Tom?
What's up, E? How you feel?
I felt good. How you doing?
I'm chilling. Hey, didn't Jerry, didn't he work on the Dodge Viper? Wasn't he a part of the engineering team for the Dodge Viper?
Yes, he was.
Did you do you still stay in contact with him at all?
I do not. Nope, I don't. I heard my mom still stays in contact with Tina and Vet though, so she might have some contact information for you for him because I know she still stays in contact with both of them.
Okay, I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay.
All right, bye. Yeah, he was incredible. Incredible mentor of mine. He had a genius mind. I've had a lot of really great mentors. Some that I've lost contact with, others that I've stayed in contact with. One of my mentors passed away like 2.5 months ago. He taught me a whole lot about money and business and a lot of different stuff. So, yeah, man, get you a Dodge Viper. He loved absolutely. What, you coming here like the police? What's going on? I got the police in here, y'all. You just a shopping? That's what you did with the money that I gave you today?
That's what you gave it to me for, right?
Hey, get out the way so I can finish my show. About to finish my super chats. Just shopping. Jesus. Here, come sit on the bed. Come sit on the bed. You'll be fine, Jer, right there. They don't need to see your clavicles. You know what?
Yes.
Anyways, get the Dodge. All right, the Dodge is dope. Fahim Jackson says they also lady boy. Oh my God, they're also lady because it's hard to get a stable job. Men are lady boys since that's who makes the foreign money. Can you imagine, AD? I guess being a black man ain't as bad as we thought. Crash out, my G. It's Saturday. Elpham says Marion. I'm not about to crash out on y'all. Tony Esquire says, whenever I hear Gen Z or liberal incorrectly arguing topics, it reminds me of when Blade says some of the F's is always trying to ice skate uphill. J Ben says AD got a melanated, stashless Captain Jack Sparrow on screen on a Saturday. So no Moist Ministries. There's no lavender on the I Choose You To tour. That's a fact. No lavender. Kim won't let me hit it, and that makes me real sad, says Quentin. Aaron L says, is Dougie in a lavender marriage with Kamala? I don't think so. Jen says, can we have one Saturday a month of your time? We'll see, Jen. I'll think about it. I'll get a consensus. Slatu Raw says, whenever I see a male Subaru driver, I instantly think he likes Terry Crews. I instantly think he likes Terry Crews from White Chicks or Tommy Davidson from Joanna. Facts. Yep, I agree. Eric Williams says, Anton, I would love for you to reach out, maybe do an interview with the YouTubers, the Chicago Conservative channel. All right, we'll see. Just Christian says his bragging about his black hires is pandering to them. Forget he previously put illegals first for most of his term. KB says ChatGPT would be better mayor, will be a better mayor of Chicago. That's a fact. Vipers are great, but you can crash out easily. Shout out to More Than Mellow. All right, it was a good stream, y'all. Really good stream. Really good stream. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And we don't have no more live streams. Oh, I might do a Patreon live stream when I get back into the city. All right, so I should be flying back into the city within 24 to 48 hours. And we're going to go from there. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.